Hey everybody, what is happening? Each Daily Ish. I am back with some more of my Madden 16 Ultimate Team free ebook series. This is the Oakland Raiders playbook. We're going to be into the Trey Open offset number 19. I'm going to take off from what we were doing before. Look at what we got. Let's see, the inside zone is going to be the runs here. The wide trap, this is the one that has the wide trap I like in here. I like it better than the one out of 18. I see you're going to have some of your basic stuff in here. You know, you're going to have a good a slip screen if you want to run those. You have a strong flood, those basic concept plays. But we're going to look into 4 plays here specific. We're going to go, and there's the 4 verse if you like that. We're going to do 2 new plays we're adding to the book, and then we're going to modify the way we ran 2 plays before, kind of make it a little bit better. This is going to, because it's kind of will piggyback off of what we put up in the last video, which is you know, out of 11. So some of the concepts in there will carry over. But you know, as a couple of videos I put out, people have seen this play, and I've had a handful of people question me, what am I running right here? And so we're going to get into this play right now. So again, we're going to be in number 19, again, out of the Raiders playbook, Trey Open offset, and there's probably going to be others that have it. But this is going to be the play action read, so the PA read. This is even an audible play, so if you're running the no huddle. A is on a streak, X is on an in, and we are blocking the running back, blocking Y. So you watch that guy cutting across in there. You're going to have a few reads off in here. If you got like a cover 3, something like that nature, you're going to have A. He's going to be streaking out there. I look at him first, and then you're going to have basically that RB and B. They're going to break differently every time the way the game is. You know, so depending on who's getting pressed, you know, and you know who breaks better. All the little factors that come in, so you kind of want to watch in there. We are hoping to hit the big play with B on the backside of it, but you know, if you force that, you know, you can throw a pick and all that when you have stuff underneath. So definitely want to go through the progressions on that. So you got man beaters on this because those routes can both meet man, but they sometimes will be close. But again, this is also practice mode, and the game runs. If you've tried stuff in here, it doesn't really run the same here. It's a pain in the butt to run in here because the players suck and your line sucks so bad. But trying to make it work, but you know, this is a play that you've seen out there already. So again, this is the PA read. It's A streak, X is on an N, and Y is going to be blocked. So we'll add this one into the book, update that out there for the emails, people who are needing copies and stuff like that of the hard copy of this. Right, there we go. And this is basically, that's what you're looking for. That route in there, the way that breaks, if you keep an eye, you run this a few times, you'll get a feel for when it's going to be breaking out there. You want to have a fast tight end. That is fairly essential. You can't have no 80, 82 speed tight end. I mean, you got to get some speed out here because basically A's job is to take the top off the coverage. Whenever there are any of those cover, you know, 3 or 4 shells, he takes it off. And there's that underneath. So you know, don't sleep on that one when you come across on some of the mans and all that. You're going to be okay. So just see how they break. You'll get a feel for running right around that A area. And once you can see whether or not you can hit him on the seam, you'll then your eyes just peel to the next 2 guys, and you'll kind of just see which one's getting the break on it. And if you have to, you know, there's you go. That's the one you're going to want there. If you have to, of course, you're going to have X on a comeback. That's why we put the X on an in. You know, you could try a drag, but sometimes that comes across too fast. So you want the timing of it to where once you realize those other guys are going to be covered, that you still have time to get to that B route underneath there. I'm sorry, that X route underneath there, because then, you know, then at least you have time to hit that, you know, and it's not going to be all the way across the field, you know, by the sidelines if you ran a drag perhaps. So again, a couple more clips of me running this one in actual games. So the recent games we played here. I'm going to hit the seams on this guy because he's giving that up. I see the cover 3 out there, and that's Hines Ward out there. So he's got plenty of speed. You see, I've run him as tight end, but a lot of my tight ends are offset and stuff like that. So he's kind of more like a slot. But again, a couple times hitting that one. So you know, we got to get a feel for that. You know, I know that's a little bit tough pass for people to get used to throwing, but once you get the good read on, you'll see it. And again, that's us coming behind with B out there. Had pretty good success for that. Yes, it can be stopped sometimes, but you know, if they're floating and hanging deep, then you just check down to those bottom guys. So you do have at least options on that. So getting to the next one on here, this is going to be the motion halfback swing. Now we run this halfback swing out of the other formation, out of number 11, which is the wing trips Raiders weak. But I like that. I like 11's better, much better. So on this one, what we're going to do is we're going to modify this one. We're actually going to put RB on a slant and A on a drag. Obviously, you can still throw that, kick him out to him. You're still going to have a blocker out there, so you don't necessarily need the other guys to make this play work. That's the thing to that. And the thing is if we're running that halfback swing out of 11, we've got to have counters. We've got to be able to balance it out so the guy cannot always jump the route in there, because you don't want to see that. So if you notice this is a good play to call if the user is coming up and you think he's going to start jumping the Y route, this route right here that you're throwing to, because if you run the regular swing out of 11, which you should be doing, and then follow it up with this at some point later in the game, and he's got a user, he'll attack that. He's going to vacate this middle. What I really want is to replicate the Freddie B screen here as close as I can. EA screwed me on that this year. But this kind of gives me an element, because look at this A route. I start catching this underneath. And also the beauty of this one, if it breaks the right way, you already have a set blocker over there in X. His job is already to block on that play. So if you get A coming across and the timing works out, you can actually get him to make a nice block for you, and maybe even a pancake, which will then probably spring you if he hits the next guy around. So it's a play I like to tinker with from time to time. But again, it's a little bit of misdirection is why it's nice to have this in here, because if you're not just facing the computer, you're facing a person and you're running these swings, they're going to see these eventually and jump on that. So you need to have counters to keep them off balance and throw them around. And that's really what I like about this these set of 4 plays that we're adding to this book. I think we do a good job of being able to attack different parts of the field throughout all these plays, which is nice. We want to keep that user just guessing all the time, and if you put hesitation in the user, man, that's when they don't make the interception. So. But again, on that, it's just simply RB on a slant, A on a drag. If you really wanted to do something on the right-hand side with that receiver out there, you can, but I don't feel a need for that. But again, if you can hit that A coming underneath and then swing it all the way around like the Freddie B from last year, I think it'll work from time to time. So it's just something to keep in mind, just to sprinkle in. But now let's get into a little bit, some a little more deeper side. A little bit mid sideline type routes. We're gonna get the motion inside cross. Now this is one we're now gonna put B on a streak. X is on a slant. And that's really the route that you liked. I didn't really feel like I was using that route enough out here in some of the plays I had before. So you really want to make sure I'm going to hit some of these nice sidelines. And it's a deeper corner route. You see, and if you have time, of course, you can let the X come around. We're going to have him on the slant anyway. So he's going to be able to. The X is going to be good beating man off the line, especially if the linebackers flood out to the right hand side. You're still going to have this as a kick down. The only trick with some of those when you those little motions out there is if you hit it at the wrong time, the running back comes back for the ball, and then you just don't ever really get your momentum going. So it's tough there. So that's the only thing about throwing that to the halfback on any of these plays. Try not to get it there right when he's about to stop his route. You got to catch it early or wait for him to plant himself and then catch it. So come back across. So really that tight end here is nice. And then because we put the guy on the streak out there, Demarius, he can get ahead and then make a block and set you free, which is really what I like about the way that's set up. And the depth of this is pretty good if it breaks open. There I see some heat coming in. They blitz off the line, right off the sidelines. So we can even hit him early on a seam pass. If you do catch that scenario. But otherwise, a lot of those just hitting near the sidelines. See if you can maybe get it in time to turn up. So it's just a quick read between him, basically. And, of course, if you catch blitzes or anything like that, you're going to have to check down to Y. If you can hit him like any other time, hit him early, whatever you feel the need for. But it's really, for this one, I'm kind of more trying to hit the A receiver followed by the X. And on X, you can also put X on a drag. You can put him on a slant, put him on a drag. It's kind of optional. Put him on an in route. It's kind of whatever you feel like doing on that one. But I do like bringing them into the play because that way, you're not totally, you actually put him in a part of the field that's easier to read if everything breaks down on the right and it's covered on the right away. You have something that's going to fall back in there. But otherwise, hopefully, you're going to hit it like this, though. That's what we're shooting for out here, always, right? So one more play out, and again, just the simple check down on that. So one more here. This is going to be the strong curl now. Again, this is the Trey open offset. Some of these plays will be universal, I believe, in other books like the Eagles, maybe the Rams, something like that. So this is the strong curl. Y is going to be on a streak, and we're going to motion him out left. So the running back is going to be motioned left and put on a streak. A is also going to be on a streak, and RB is going to be on a drag. So as you can see, we've got two seams running down, and this X the nice thing about this one is this X receiver, the way that he curls in, it's one of those nice unique routes that if the coverage is on top of him, it is so hard for them to make a play on the ball if you catch him right when he's making that nice turn. The only thing with that you have to worry about is sometimes if you get a linebacker or somebody like the guy who's above Y on here, if you have somebody settled into that area, you know, a secondary coverage there, that's when you're going to want to check it down. But the seams coming off this one, I like to hit A. You know, I prefer to hit A off the seam. You can kind of hit them both at times, but I feel A is the one that opens up, like right here. That's where I want to go look at first on any of these plays. Yeah, baby. You know, if I can hit that from time to time, you know, again, it's one of those things that we're just trying to get the user in, you know, to see some familiar things, and then we want to change it up, throw it in different areas. So we want to get him to vacate certain areas, basically, because he's going to anticipate we're doing the same thing if he's seen again. That's why those swings work pretty well with this scheme, and some of these seam passes we're going to blend in there and do pretty well. The computer's pretty funny, you know, with their play calling on you, man. So again on this one, strong curl, Y is on a streak, motion left, and A is a streak, and RB is a drag. So it's a basic concepts. When you're seeing that, you just like to say, I go from that seam, you go A or Y, hit that seam, then you're just looking for X right when he turns. So you can see him when he turns right there. It's nice. As long as you don't have anybody who's going to be down the line after that corner, or you can sometimes try and hit him in the corner, in the turn, and he'll still catch a majority of those. But if not, then you just hit that check down right below. That's where he should be, you know, right in the sight line. You just bring the eyes down. So we try to be patient with everything we do, guys. Don't force the pass. I mean, that's a big thing. If you can learn to get your progressions down, and sometimes take the sack. You know, if you can't get the ball thrown away, it's always, I just feel it's better to do that than to throw a pick just because you panicked and, you know, you didn't the play wasn't open. So that's just certain things that I try to do. Not perfect, you know, none of it's going to be, but that's a certain way I like to play with it, because I feel I can always get the yards back with a lot of these plays. So thanks for checking this out, guys. Like I say, we'll update it throughout the year with things that come up and as my scheme develops, man. So I hope you guys like this, and I'll see y'all next time.